Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Saudi Arabia from a Saudi perspective. Finally, we're going to talk about Saudi culture. People ask me if there is a Saudi culture and what is it all about. And I tell them, while there is a Saudi culture, it's not a uniform culture. Different regions of the country, whether it's in the east, the south, the north, the central region, have different modes of life and ways on how to do things. But these subcultures are part of a grand Saudi culture. People see us wearing tobes, the men, the long robes, the ghutra and the igal. They see women wearing abaya. So they think all Saudis think alike, do things alike, eat the same type of food. And I think this is a wrong notion. Saudi culture is part of so many other cultures. It is Saudi, it is Arab, it is Muslim, it is Gulf. It's a mixture. But what unites all of us together are certain things that are ingrained in our values, in our systems, and those are the family values, the ideology of religion, not just as mere practices, but of goodness and the prevailing of good over bad. These things are very important for people to know about. We have a culture where family comes first, where there is great importance put on the respect for the mother, which again is ingrained in our religion. So these issues have to be known to other people. And as I said, culture is different in different parts of the world. For example, even in the food style, in the central region, in the Riyadh area, they eat meat. On the coastal areas, they eat fish. There are different types of food. The impact of the Hajis or the pilgrims who came over throughout the years also added a new dimension in our thought, in the culture, in music. So this is, as I said, an umbrella under which many subcultures are living. Over the past several years, there has been a revival in Saudi culture, a modification. It does not mean that they have just shed something from the past and brought something new, but I think they've added to it. They have modified music, art, culture, other activities that fall within the parameter of arts have been put in. There's an infusion. Young people are coming up with new ideas. They have become rap singers. They have become artists. They're doing things that were not done before. Now, it doesn't mean that we have totally cut off the past, because there are elements in society that still cling to the past, and very rightly so. I would like to hear some old songs, Talal Maddah and all. It doesn't mean that I will not accept the new singers on the block, new painters. There has been a resurgence in art and other faculties that also are within the parameter of culture. This is very important. So it's important to note that while we are modifying, we are adding, we are raising that level and enhancing our focus on changes, we still have not let the past go back. It's very important in this issue. And I think people should know, if you go around the cities in Saudi Arabia, you find graffiti. It never existed before. You have signboards that talk about social enhancement in terms of focusing on societal development. This is coming from the people, from young people. And young people are now giving new ideas. They are giving a new impetus, a new focus, and a new strength, so that this wheel of cultural development will go on. Previously, we just kept on thinking about past issues. We were dwelling on historical significance. But now the young people in Saudi Arabia are creating a cultural history by themselves, and for the future. The youth have also contributed to the changes in the culture. They have added color by the acceptance of women in the workplace and by treating them as equals. the whole aspect of production of the workforce has changed totally. What now we see in society is that there is no gender difference. The best man for the job could be a woman. And it's important for people to know outside the country that here women are treated at par as far as salaries and other benefits are concerned. It's an equal opportunity employment act without being an act. This is very important. Women are now playing key roles, and especially young women. They are heads of banks, organizations, they're into sports, they drive and come and go. And these issues that were there before, being scoffed at, are now being accepted by and large. And one more thing people, senior citizens and elderly people have been impressed with is that it's gone without any turbulence, without any hit at the fabric of society, and there's more and more respect, much more than before. So we have to understand that the inclusion of women in the workforce in Saudi Arabia has benefited society. Society is becoming more importantly looking at what is going on. There's healthy competition, and at the same time there is a joint look at the future. You do not hear these jokes about women in the workforce as you hear in other places, and it's very important to know again that the number of people who are now entering the workforce, an overwhelming majority of them are women. Even now, when more young men and women are entering the workforce, are meeting together within the office or outside, having business meetings, traveling, the family values are still being retained. The plot has not changed. A lot of people thought that these new changes in society might sort of affect our traditional values. On the contrary, it has not. There may be some people who may think otherwise, but I truly believe that young people understand these values that existed because they are able to cement relations between the family, within the nuclear family, and within the larger family that exists, both within the major cities and the town by itself. So it's important to note that we still, while we are going to office and having these modern methods of communication, talking, Zooming, everything else, we maintain our tradition at home. We eat a traditional meal together. The parents, families, you could sit on the floor or on a table. We eat traditional food. We do things that we already did before. And the young people too, in fact, are clinging to these values. They are not going to let go. And this is what I was fearing before, that something could be amiss in the sense that when these people see these new changes, they might just shed off their past ways and thoughts and views on living and working. But on the contrary, they have now become stronger and are looking forward to go to a new Saudi Arabia where the old and the new will mix together and come up with a formula for society, for a culture that exists and is able to encompass all our actions, values, religious teachings, and parents' teachings too. Many Saudis and people from outside who come to visit the country are worried when they see more and more young people wearing trousers, Bermudas, baseball caps, and T-shirts with different slogans on it, and they see young women shedding off the traditional black abaya and going to more stylistic and more fashionable type of clothings. They sort of worry what's going to happen. My take on this is that they should understand that while there is a feeling to get together and add color to our lives, we still want to maintain that we are modernizing rather than westernizing. We are going to cling to our culture. We are going to have our own modification within our own parameter and within what we think is best for ourselves. So this is the most important thing. I also like to tell others, do not worry. Our culture is strong, our culture has a strong base, and it is going to stay. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.